right, well, welcome back to Erik Leifson Cooking Like a Viking. We are getting into Crag Brooks' first book, Eat Like a Viking, a guide to Anglo-Saxon and Viking Age food and drink. Now, I know that you've all been waiting for this round. It is now December, and the cod are now coming close to the shores. We can go out and fish them, and I'm hoping that you all have enough of the spices, like I asked you to, left over from last year's Viking, so that we can go ahead and do this year's cooking. You're going to need to have some salt, which we have locally, and that's how we usually keep our cod preserved into the spring. However, we're going to go ahead and cook some fresh cod. I'm hoping that you have pepper left from Viking last year, and we're going to get right into it. We're going to do a nice oat rolled cod. I know that's delicious. We're going to do some smashed turnips. And then we're going to do some smashed up nuts that we stole from some people when we went down a little bit south last year, a little bit further than we usually do when we go a Viking. So we're going to smash up those nuts and make them into a nice patty that's going to be a kind of dessert. So we're going to start off with the turnips, and then we're going to move on to the cod. Let's go. All right, we're going to start with our buttered turnips. All right, we're going to start with our buttered turnips. And we're going to take at least 3 or 4 turnips and chop them into chunks and put them into a boiling cauldron of water. If you don't happen to have a boiling cauldron of water, you can do it in a modern kitchen. However, it's best to be done over open flame. So 3 turnips chopped up, get a little splash of milk ready from the goat or the cow, that's groovy, and a little bit of butter. We're gonna chop up the turnips and get them boiling now. So at this point, we've chopped up our turnips, and we're going to throw them into the cauldron.
Why did you put milk in there?
Because it said to put a splash of milk.
Yeah, but you got to see how much you need after you get your turnips in there, not vice versa.
I don't know that.
On here do now.
You'll know that your turnips are beginning to be done when they smell like that. All right, time to get the cod started. Now, remember, it is December, and it's this time of year is the only time of year that cod gets close enough to the shore for us to go ahead and fish. And it makes it very easy. They get nice and close, we can bust up the ice, and we can catch that cod. Cod is a very nice, thick, white fish, and so rather than salting it and preparing it to transport, which a lot of people don't know, that we actually move foodstuffs and mass goods all the way through Northern Europe. Most people don't realize that. So what we're gonna... Cod. Cod actually served 2 purposes for the Nordic peoples, besides just being a foodstuff. In the spawning season, Norwegians would catch and dry hundreds of thousands of the Atlantic whitefish, even as they do today. It's referred to as stockfish, and this dried cod could last for years. Unlike expensive specialty goods, bulk goods, like perishable foods, wouldn't be traded long distances for hundreds of years. But scientists have now found the DNA of cod in northwestern Germany that came from the Viking village of Lofoten, making the Vikings one of the first traders of low-cost bulk goods to foreign lands. The second benefit of cod? Healthy bones. Without sunshine, children do not produce enough vitamin D to grow healthy bones. This is called rickets. And above the 42nd parallel, there isn't much sun for a lot of the year. But the Vikings figured out that the coastal tribes didn't suffer from what we would come to call rickets, and in the main, their warriors grew tall and strong. Turns out, 1 meal of cod meat with eggs and liver contain enough vitamin D for a month, because vitamin D is fat soluble. So it turns out that Viking cod affected the entire economy, ecology, and health of much of Northern Europe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some eggs, and again, these can be raven eggs, buzzard's eggs, chicken's eggs are great. That's what I happen to be using today. And so we're going to get them nice and covered in that, and then in some nice rolled oats. You're really going to need about 1 egg to 2 sections of a good fillet off of the shoulder of a cod.
God, shoulder? Where did you get that?
I don't know.
There is
What?
no such thing as a cod shoulder.
They're totally...
No, babe.
Once these are nice and covered, then we want to take a metric knob of butter. I want to drop that right in the pan. Get that ready. We're going to move that around, get that good in the pan, nice and hot. Let's get the cod in the pan. Delicious. I just can't wait. All right, now we're going to begin our hazelnut patties. So I've already finely chopped up with my Viking Warhammer some hazelnuts. Got those ready to go. We have a quarter of a cup of butter. And we're going to take just about an eighth of a cup of honey. And that looks something like that, as far as I know. Maybe that. Half a cup of flour. That's about a half a metric cup. You don't want that. You don't want that. You just want to mix that up, and you're going to fry this over your fire made out of the bones of your enemies. And so we're going to keep adding flour until this becomes something that looks like dough. Now we're getting close. No. Oh, wait. No. You only want the eggshells to go to the ones that you're feeding to your enemies. Is that even close? I don't feel like that's even close. Sfervanald, my beautiful wife, is actually fixing my hazelnut patties. So apparently, you want to put your flour over the surface you're going to make your dough on. I was unaware of this until very recently. Now, we're just about ready to put them over the fire. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, now we have our meal completely prepared and we're very excited to eat it. Very excited. And so we have mead, which is honey wine. This is the victory meal after you go a Viking. I want you to be prepared to just really dive in and have a fantastic meal after all of your hard work, all of your sailing, and all of the defeating of your enemies. It's really good. The fish is tender, and the coating is fantastic. And the turnips are, So let's try some of the nut patties. Just like Grandma used to make. Not a lot of moisture in the nut patties. So you want to have a little bit of mead to go with it. Which is really good. It's a little bit sweet and it is good. It is okay. It's lovely. Perfectly cooked. It really just melts in the mouth. And and now as we finish this fantastic Viking meal, we begin to understand why we go a Viking every year. My cousin said to skip England. Food's not so great there. However, next season maybe we'll go to Italy.